If it's not possible, if we're so far apart that this is not going to happen, then I think the president's probably at a point where he's going to say, well, we're done.
Oh, boy. Little Marco coming up short again. Pun intended. What's going on with Marco, Nick?
Well, hey, just let's pause on that for a minute. I want to take a second and thank you guys for being here and remind you got to subscribe to this channel. If you like what we do, you want more of this content, makes it so much easier if you guys subscribe. So take 1 second, please do that, and we'll get to the Marco Rubio stuff here shortly.
Yeah. Remember, every time you subscribe to this channel, Trump sheds a single tear, and that's what we like. So subscribe. Okay, so let's get into this. So what could Marco be referencing there? Trump made a long list of promises that he would get to on day one. Let's just run through them briefly here. Reducing prices. How are we doing on that?
He said yesterday, I heard him say that egg prices were down 92%.
Yeah, so that's a lie. Mass deportations, how are we doing on that? I don't think we're doing super well, actually. We've heard some horrible stories, but not mass deportations.
I have ICE in my community. I do see it, but I'm not seeing a decline in population.
No, for sure. He also promised to pardon all the January 6 rioters. He did achieve that, right?
Yeah, but a couple of them, thank God, are back in jail already, so that's good.
That is true. Some of them are dead, too, actually. Okay, so Marco can't be talking about that. Ending birthright citizenship. I know he signed that executive order.
But that doesn't mean it's law. So, they're trying.
So, no on that. Blanket tariffs on Canada and Mexico.
Blanket? No. But we are seeing things happen on China. So, do we give him any credit for that?
Well, I think he's done tariffs on almost everyone at this point, with one notable exception that perhaps we'll get to in a moment. The big one left on the list, I believe, is ending the war in Ukraine on day one. And I think Trump made some pretty, bold statements that would be easy to do.
It can be negotiated, I think, within 24 hours. It really has to be done from the office of the president. And you have to get them both in a room. And there are things you can say to each one of them, which I won't reveal now, which will guarantee that this war will end immediately.
I can do it in 24 hours. I know both players, and I can do that in 24 hours. But you can only do it from the office of the president. You need that. You need that seat. You need what's tailed in that seat. And I would have that done in 24 hours. It wouldn't even be tough. I know what to say to each of them, and there's no way they would reject it.
I will end that war in one day. It'll take 24 hours. I would have a deal done in 24 hours from the time we started. And I would tell Zelensky something, and I would tell Putin something, and I'd get him into a room, and I'd tell him again and again. I would have a deal done very quickly.
I think that clock has expired, Steve. I mean, 24 hours. I mean, everyone has high aspirations sometimes, but he started with this whole 24-hour gig, and that's what a lot of the MAGA party voted for. They were like, yeah, the war's done. We won't be sending any money. It'll be all done in 24 hours.
Right. I guess he never said which 24 hours, He could have meant 24 hours 6 months from now.
That's fair, but then he said after that, I think his next move was like, oh, this could take 90 days. 90 days, not a long time. It's just 90 days.
Right. He has been lowering the bar. So is this what he chickened out on? Let's let Marco explain it to us.
Here yesterday to sort of begin to talk about more specific outlines of what it might take to end a war, to try to figure out very soon, and I'm talking about a matter of days, not a matter of weeks, whether or not this is the war that can be ended. If it can, we're prepared to do whatever we can to facilitate that and make sure that it happens, that it ends in a durable and just way. If it's not possible, if we're so far apart that this is not going to happen, then I think the president's probably at a point where he's going to say, well, we're done.
Oh, so in other words, promises made, promises not kept, and screw the people of Ukraine, right?
Yeah, apparently it turns out diplomacy is hard, Nick. We're not here to do hard things. He thought he could just get them in a room, say one thing to each of them, which who knows what the hell that was supposed to be, but apparently this is difficult. Now Marco is saying they're going to give it a couple more days, then we got other things to do. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we've got a lot of, tariffs are right. We've got a lot of stuff going on here. We're trying to take down colleges. We got stuff we're doing here in the USA. Enough of these Ukrainian people. After all, America first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Marco's in charge of dyeing all the Easter eggs for this Sunday, so he's got things to do. So cut him a little slack. Well, how did all this go wrong? Are you wondering that?
No. I think it's pretty simple, to be honest with you. Like, what's up with this chainsaw mentality? We're seeing it with, the Department of Government Efficiency and Fraud going in with the chainsaw. I'll drag these two knuckleheads into a room, give them a couple of nose flips, it'll be over. Like, stuff is not that freaking easy, dude.
That's good. Was that a Three Stooges reference? Was that what that was?
No.
Yeah. All right. Very current and topical. Hey, kids, Google the Three Stooges. But, all right, so here's the deal. So, obviously, Trump was pretty confident he can just bang this out in a day, and I'm pretty sure he meant the first 24 hours. But let's see where this started to go wrong. So, a week or two ago, he did an interview with NBC News, and President Donald Trump said he was very angry and pissed off, very diplomatic language, when Russian President Vladimir Putin criticized the credibility of Zelensky, adding that the comments were not going in the right location. So Trump then went on to say, after he said he's very angry and he's pissed off at Putin there, he said, if Russia and I are unable to make a deal on stopping the bloodshed in Ukraine, and if I think Russia's at fault, which it might not be, but if I think it's Russia's fault, I'm going to put secondary tariffs on oil, tariffs on this. He's going to tariff everything with Russia. Nick, do you recall what is basically the one country on that list of tariffs back on Liberation Day that there were actually no tariffs announced on?
Oh, I think it was Russia, dude. Am I right?
You're distinctly right.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? I mean, I think Trump is confused. You see, when you're the Russian asset, you're supposed to do what Putin tells you. I don't think it works the other way around.
It's so interesting, dude. I am interested in seeing where this thing goes. Obviously, I want this war to be over and people to stop dying. But I want to see also, it's kind of a nail biter. Like, what's going to happen with the move between him and Putin? Like, I want to see Trump get stepped on. You were never as powerful with Putin as you thought you were, and I want to see the American people see that.
Yeah, I think little Marco just gave us a preview of where it's going. They're going to wrap this thing up in a couple of days because it turns out it was pretty difficult. And this whole assertion that has always been around that we're going to find a compromise, each side may have to give up a little. Texas used to be part of Mexico. If Mexico invaded America to try to take Texas back, do you think Trump would try to compromise, just give them Houston or something?
There'd be no compromise, dude. And that is the best way to look at this, is because it's exactly what happened in Ukraine. A compromise is not needed. This is an ally of ours. The way that he's talked about this is disgusting to me.
Yeah. So Marco, poor Marco, out there on the tarmac trying to talk to reporters. And yeah, basically saying new today that this turns out to be really hard. We're going to give it a few more days, a couple of days. I don't have weeks. We're going to give it a few more days, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. And I don't know. Trump had expressed a lot of confidence, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of confidence in the whole thing.
Biden could have stopped it, and Zelensky could have stopped it, and Putin should have never started it. You take a look at Putin. I'm not saying anybody's an angel, but I will tell you, I went 4 years, and it wasn't even a question. He would never, and I told him, don't do it. You're not going to do it. And it was the apple of his eye, but there was no way that he would have done it.
It's mind control with Dwight Schrute. You don't do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. What is wrong with him that he would ever say, I'm not saying Putin's an angel, but, no, he's not an angel. He's a dictator, dude.
That's funny. And in that clip, he contradicts himself. He says something about Putin would never bring it up, but I told him not to go there. Like, did it come up or did it not come up? Is Trump saying he knew that this invasion was going to happen?
Well, I mean, he said Zelensky could have stopped it. I love that you can stop an invasion on your country. So,
yeah, so there you go. Trump chickening out on yet another campaign promise. Subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned for more. We are all the resistance, so we're going to keep it up. We're Nick and Steve with the Vocal Minority for Really American Media.